Welcome to Conflict Zone YouTube channel. Today, significant developments are unfolding in the Adiva Direction. In my previous update, I informed you that Ukrainian forces successfully completed the initial phase of their withdrawal, abandoning isolated positions along the stretched front line and reducing overall troop numbers in OFA by 30%. This marked a critical juncture where clashes escalated to unimaginable heights, prompting Russian forces to swiftly encircle Ukrainian positions before they could escape. According to Ukrainian fighters on the ground, the scale of Russian assault units they encountered surpassed anything witnessed during the battle for Bakhmut, where the Wagner group notoriously exploited the lives of their prisoners en masse. However, the initial report of a 30% personnel evacuation, primarily sourced from Russian accounts, lagged behind the actual timeline. In reality, Ukrainians had clandestinely completed the second stage of withdrawal, mainly relocating to residential areas. Consequently, the renowned 3rd Assault Brigade refrained from direct town assaults, instead focusing on preventing Russian advancements into the fields. Russian soldiers, on the other hand, aimed to sever the last two retreat routes leading through Gald towards Lena and the road to CER. However, shortly after these strategic maneuvers, Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Colonel General Sky Post-Fom officially announced on the morning of February 17 that Ukrainian forces had withdrawn from Iva. This declaration coincided with the release of combat footage from both sides, confirming the intense nature of the clashes where neither side had the opportunity to promptly share videos online. During this critical period, a surge in combat footage from both sides became evident, affirming the intense nature of the clashes that left neither party with the time to promptly share videos online. The released combat footage was particularly shocking, with one Russian soldier publishing a video documenting his passage through the outskirts of Ifa on the way to the contact line for storming Ukrainian positions. The video depicted a grim scene, showcasing multiple bodies marked with red tape, indicating affiliation with Russian assault units. Every few meters, the footage revealed destroyed heavy equipment, painting a vivid picture of the fierce confrontations. Lasting for 5 minutes, the video consistently portrayed a stable number of corpses. In a grim revelation, 2 Russian soldiers in the video stated that, out of the 4,000 soldiers in their brigade, only 30% had survived thus far. In context, many military analysts were taken aback by Russian claims that they engage in assaults until detachments incur up to 30% losses, after which they are rotated out and reconstituted. A 30% loss signifies a complete breakdown in combat capability. Russian brigades, each consisting of 4,000 soldiers, incurred at least 70% losses, as reported by soldiers on the ground. In light of this, the assertions of Ukrainian fighters from the 3rd Assault Brigade that their unit faced off against 7 Russian brigades gained significant credibility. Ukrainian fighters, having recently had the opportunity to recount the harrowing experiences of close combat engagements within the town, described a simple yet effective tactic employed by the Russians. They explained that Russian forces systematically gathered inside basements and houses, positioning themselves as close to the contact line as possible, often within 10 meters of Ukrainian positions. Subsequently, they initiated rapid attacks. The majority of Russian fighters fell victim to machine gun nests, providing an explanation for the high density of bodies observed per square meter in previous footage. Members of the Ukrainian 3rd Assault Brigade, during their brief deployment, claimed to have virtually neutralized 2 Russian brigades. These were the days when Russian daily losses once again soared to historic heights, surpassing 1,200 soldiers, with over half of these casualties originating from Iva. In the cramped proximity of both parties within 10 meters, the devastating impact of Russian aviation dropping 500 kilograms or, worse, 1,000 kilograms bombs was indiscriminate, causing substantial losses for both Russian and Ukrainian soldiers. Just hours ago, the Ukrainian General Staff released estimates of the total Russian losses in Avdiivka. Ukrainian forces reportedly inflicted losses of almost 50,000 personnel, 364 tanks, almost 750 armored combat vehicles, 250 artillery systems, and 5 fighter bombers between October 10 and February 17. The majority of the reported losses inflicted on Russian forces occurred during the initial and concluding months of the battle for Ava. In the first month, Russians seemingly disregarded the presence of mines or artillery, sending large crowds into the conflict zone. During the last month, the Russian military command faced pressure to conclude the battle before the elections, resulting in a ground strewn with corpses, as depicted in the footage at the beginning of this video. For context, Ava is twice as small as Mud, and the battle lasted half the duration. However, the proportional losses incurred by Russians were notably higher, 880,000 versus 47,000, indicating approximately a 30% increase in losses for every square meter. This statistical improvement for Ukrainians is particularly noteworthy. It's crucial to recognize that Ava's pre-war population was around 32,000, and it took Russians 47,000 troops to capture it. Many Ukrainian military analysts expressed satisfaction that General Syrskyi did not repeat the Bakay scenario, choosing instead to order the soldiers to withdraw rather than fight until the last house. Despite the official end of the battle, the fighting in the region persists, with Russian forces continuing to advance. The new setting and highly unstable situation have created a significant level of uncertainty, which the Russians aim to exploit to further collapse the front line, as indicated in the latest strategic update.